Okay, let us start with our vocabulary first. I think overall, let me just have a look at your results. The four of you, I would think most of you have gotten it correct, except for one of you. I will not name names, okay? But these are basically your phrasal verbs, okay? And phrasal verbs can have different meaning, right? Stand up can literally stand up. Basically, stand up means you rise to one's feet. Stand up, right? Rise to one's feet. Okay, but stand up can also mean to remain valid after close scrutiny, means you really analyze it, you look at it, you have investigated it. Okay, scrutiny and analysis. So after investigating, after analyzing, then you realize that, oh, actually this thing is still valid. So the evidence that he presented to the judge still stands up in the court. So means that it's still valid. It is a valid evidence, piece of evidence. Okay? So stand up. Yeah? Okay. Now take up basically means, like, for example, I take up a new hobby. Recently, I've taken up piano. Okay, so I've taken up, yeah, correct. Yunshen, that's how it is. Do you learn piano? No? Okay.
I learn guitar.
Oh, you learn guitar. That's nice. Okay. So take up means you suddenly become interested or engage in a pursuit. Okay? Of course, facing up basically is just to face, and basically you turn the surface upwards. Okay, the surface is turned upwards. Yeah, so that's face up. Bring up. Okay, bringing up, it can be you have a conversation with someone and you just bring up a certain topic. It can also mean to look after a child, basically. Till adulthood. Okay, if someone brought you up, means someone actually took care of you, looked after you until you've become an adult. Yeah, but bring up also can mean to raise a certain topic during conversation. Right? Okay, so of course, in this case, it takes a great deal to what? To our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends. Anyone? Is it Yunshen? Yunshen, you want to say the answer? Yes, Yunshen?
Stand up.
Stand up for Singapore. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, have you heard of the song before? Stand Up for Singapore? Oh, you do? Okay, I thought it was just in my era. Okay, it takes a great deal of bravery to stand up. Yes. Okay, basically is to not really to remain valid, but it's to state your point across, put your point across. Okay. Okay. Now next one. The laboratory that stores what substances was kept under strict guard. Okay, so what is menacing? Yes, Liana.
Something that is suggesting danger or threat.
Yes, okay, basically it means there's a presence of danger. Okay?
Or is threatening.
Or threatening, yes. So the snowstorm was menacing as it almost covered the roof of the building. Okay? So there's a presence of danger. Yeah. Vulnerable on the other hand means you are very open to damage. Okay, if someone is vulnerable, they're very open to damage. They are capable of being not just physically, yeah, but also emotionally. Okay, if you're vulnerable means that you're open to damage, you're capable of being physically as well as emotionally wounded. Yeah. Okay. Foreboding is actually a feeling that something bad will happen. Sometimes people just have that sixth sense, right? It's a feeling that something bad would happen. Okay. And then hazardous basically means risky or dangerous. So in terms of this context, the laboratory that stores what substances was kept under strict guard. So in this case, definitely it has to be. Which one do you think is the answer? Josiah?
Yeah. I think the answer was B.
Hazardous, right?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so substances are either toxic substances or hazardous substances. Basically means it's dangerous. Okay, are you still copying? Yeah? Mm. Great. Everybody's done? Abil, you okay? Yeah? Okay. Now, when it comes to the what, I know that I could count on Adrian. Okay. When it comes to the, now what is a trench? Yes, Liana.
A long, narrow ditch. Or
A
something.
long, narrow,
A long, narrow ditch.
depression, right? Depression doesn't mean you're mentally depressed, yeah? Depression basically means there is like
Can
a,
also be the whole one.
yeah, something like a hole. Yeah, depression in the ocean bed. Do you know which one is the deepest trench in the world?
Marina Trench.
Yes, correct. Mariana Trench. Yeah, it's very deep. Okay, so frontier, I think a crunch can have two meanings to it. A crunch can basically mean,
Tight or critical
sorry
situation.
again, Liana?
A tight or critical situation.
Yes, correct. A crunch can also mean a tight or critical situation. You're right. Okay. But of course, a crunch can also mean a sound, right? When you're crunching something like Cocoa Crunch, they call it Cocoa Crunch. Okay, so it's like a loud grinding sound. Okay, what's a frontier? A frontier is like a line. Okay, it's like North and South Korea, right? Line or border separating
Two countries.
two countries. Yeah. Oh. Okay, what's a barrier?
A fence that prevents movement or access.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Liana.
A fence or obstacle that prevents something entering.
Okay, it can be like a fence. It might not always be a fence. Okay, or obstacle, right? It can be an obstacle that prevents movement. Okay, it's a barrier. So of course, back to the question, Yun Xian, you were saying, can we not be so active today? So I think I will have to call you for this one. Yeah. When it comes to the what, I know that I can count on Adrian. What do you think?
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, I thought you were saying that to me. So I wanted to get you active. Were you saying that to Jerusha? Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, so what's the answer for this question? Inshan? Yes.
B.
Yeah. Okay, because it's a type of critical situation. Very good. Okay, so when it comes to a type of critical situation, we know that we can count on Adrian. Yeah, so that's crunch. Okay, so in this case, the crunch does not mean a loud and grinding sound, but it means a tight situation. Yeah. Okay, next one. Toby is able to what the other children because he's so much bigger than them. Okay, so persecute is actually quite serious because persecute is a term that you use to be hostile. Okay, or
Are
ill treat.
legally
Okay, to be hostile or ill treat someone due to what?
due to uh, difference.
Yeah, due to differences. Like for example, due to their differences. For example, okay, due to differences. It can be gender, so you're gender biased.
Religion,
Okay, it can be ethnicity.
belief,
It can even be religion. So it's quite a harsh and serious word because it means that you're ill-treating someone because of the differences. So you're being racist and sexist and all this. Okay? Intimidate. Okay, intimidate. What does it mean by intimidate? It's to frighten. Okay, frighten someone to make them do what you want. Okay, it's basically to frighten someone to make them do what you want. Okay? Now, next one is dominate. Yes,
dominant.
Diana?
Dominant can have like three meanings. Having power of influence over,
Yeah, dominate means having power over someone.
or being the most important person.
Yeah, correct. You have power or influence over someone that's dominating. And of course, criticize means to indicate the faults of people, right? Okay. So of course, the answer to this is Giselle. What do you think? What's the answer to this question?
B.
Very good, Giselle. Intimidate. Okay, to frighten because he's able to frighten other children because it's so much bigger in size than them. Anybody still writing? Yeah? Okay. Then, yeah? Josiah, you okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Abil, okay? Okay, let's move on. Do not undertake what exercise for a few hours after a meal to allow food to digest. So when we talk about exercise, it's definitely strenuous. Okay, strenuous exercise. Yeah. So what is tedious? Tedious is basically something
Tiring.
that tiring, very tiresome.